Dear international community, today we are all smelling the rotten fruits of the Canada charade, as we predicted. Instead of calling for an increase in firepower in the home front by our committed and brave ARFs in order to force the enemy to come to the table for a genuine mediated negotiation, the One Cameroon advocates united in Canada are calling for a ceasefire. I have a word for all those ceasefire negotiators in Canada. You either lack understanding of how this works, or you are outrightly wicked to Ambazonia. There are two types of ceasefires: a unilateral ceasefire and a negotiated ceasefire, or a bilateral ceasefire. A unilateral ceasefire is a ceasefire by one party. It works best where one party is the aggressor, as in our case. A negotiated ceasefire occurs when both armies or nations are at war and they decide to call off fighting for a season. This only makes sense when there are two armies or two nations attacking each other. For example, La République du Cameroon army attacking southern Cameroon's Ambazonia, and Ambazonian army attacking La République du Cameroon. But we don't have an army in Ambazonia that is at war with La République's army. We have civilians exercising their self-defense rights. Ambazonia is under annexation by the brutal occupation army from La République du Cameroon. We are obliged to defend ourselves as long as the aggressor, La République du Cameroon army, is in our territory. The only ceasefire that makes sense in this one aggression case is a unilateral ceasefire by La République du Cameroon, not a negotiated ceasefire by both sides. Such a unilateral ceasefire should involve La République du Cameroon pulling out their security forces from our territory. How can anyone be negotiating a ceasefire on behalf of civilians who are using everything they can find to defend themselves against a ruthless army of occupation that is bent on wiping out all of them? If they stop resisting the ruthless occupier, what is that called? Ceasefire or surrender? I have a few more questions for those self-appointed ceasefire negotiators purportedly representing Ambazonia at the Grand National Dialogue 2 in Canada. If you are in your home and 10 killers, armed to the teeth, come looking for you, they kill some of your security guards and children in the compound, you pick up a weapon in your house and start returning fire through the windows and the back door. If those murderers outside suggest that you should agree with them on a ceasefire, will you agree and stop defending yourselves while they are still inside your compound? Can you and your family sleep confidently, believing that you have negotiated a ceasefire with the assassins in your compound? No. What then is the meaning of this negotiated ceasefire between an army and civilians who are using everything they got to resist the army of occupation? How can the victim agree on a ceasefire with his assailants who are looking for him to kill him? Let me repeat this. There is no war in Ambazonia. La République is simply butchering innocent Ambazonians. If La République du Cameroon stops the butchery and withdraw from our territory, Ambazonians will have no reason to defend themselves against a non-existent enemy.